Oops, I forgot to put the rubber band on. Oops, one sec. Alright, I'm starting a little bit late tonight. It's 10:30 right now. I debated, do I even want to do this tonight? Ultimately, I decided yes, I'll do it. It was either do this or record a Mario Kart video tonight. Well, ultimately I decided let's do this, because I have a lot of shinies I want to get, and the more time I spend doing this, the better. Anyways, so I am a little bit late tonight. In fact, something I forgot to mention last time. Last time I mentioned how the MCU started 17 years ago. I completely failed to realize that last time, not to the day, but, one day prior, it has been 10 years since Avengers Age of Ultron released. Holy shit, 10 years ago, the second Avengers movie came out. May 1st, 2015 is when Avengers Age of Ultron came out. That was 10 years ago. Oh my lord, 10 years ago. And another thing I forgot to mention. Not really about anything besides Brave New World. I couldn't help but notice that when Harrison Ford changed back... when Red Hulk changed back to Harrison Ford, they did it off screen. They didn't show the de-transformation on screen. They rather showed a shadow. It just made me think of the She-Hulk moment where, Kevin said, but please turn back to human form because the CGI is very expensive. But do it off screen when the camera's not on you. Yeah, I couldn't help but think about that moment. Whoops. You want to know what's crazy? You want to know a crazy hot take I have? Hold on, let me recenter this. So here's a crazy hot take of mine. I actually would like to see She-Hulk return to the MCU. Now, hold on a second. Let me explain before you boycott me, before you hate on me. Let me explain. I would not be mad if She-Hulk returns, and only if she's done properly. If we get an actual good character written, if we actually get the character of She-Hulk written well, I welcome her to come back. However, if she's going to be the same woke nonsense character, I don't want to see her back. Bring Jennifer Walters back as an actual good, strong character. No more men, bad, none of that bullshit. Don't even reference the She-Hulk show. Do not reference any events from the She-Hulk show. The only thing that is acceptable to reference is Daredevil. So, no referencing characters like Nikki, I don't know, Prometheus. No referencing anyone in the show. Just bring She-Hulk back and write her properly. If you don't write her properly, I don't want to see her back. Anyways. So today is, May the 4th. It's everyone online was saying May the 4th be with you. But to me, I'm just like, nah, fuck all that noise. Today is, May the Walking Dead Dead City Season 2 premiere date be with you. And that's exactly what today was. Today was the premiere of The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2. And that's why I'm doing this later tonight, because I just got back from watching the episode on TV. Now, I know I said in the past I am legally not allowed to use the TV at night. And god damn it, I didn't plan to watch it on the TV today. However, I was able to, without any sort of drama. It was not drama-free, however. My mom and sister don't care because, you know, after dinner they go upstairs and rest, and I'm not cutting into their TV time yet, so I wasn't yelled at yet. My dad, however, sat right beside me waiting for his turn to use the TV, just waiting for me to leave, waiting for the episode to be done so I can leave so he can finally have his turn. So it wasn't without its, you know, merits. Every single time, I swear to you guys, every single time I try to watch The Walking Dead on TV, my dad always like, what are you watching? Fucking Walking Dead again? I thought this shit ended. Is it a new show? And then he sees the characters. Oh, it's the same characters. What the hell? That kind of stuff. It's like my dad's never heard of the concept of a spin-off. Then again, maybe he actually hasn't. You know, he heard that The Walking Dead main show ended years ago, so every time, you know, there's a spin-off and I watch it on TV, he's just like, didn't this shit end? Didn't this garbage end? Why are you still watching it? Why is it still on? I thought this trash was over, and yet you're telling me it's still going? This is never ending. That kind of stuff. Now, obviously, my dad does not like The Walking Dead. He does not keep up to dates with updates like I do. So, you know, he doesn't know. But, you know, every single time that there's anything happening Walking Dead ever since the main show ended, my dad's always like, it's still going? I thought it ended. And, you know, there's been a lot of projects. Well, a decent amount of stuff that's come out since The Walking Dead main show ended. Because remember, there was still the final season of Fear the Walking Dead. And then we had 2 seasons of Daryl Dixon. 1 season of Dead City. 1 season of The Ones Who Live. And right now, season 2 of Dead City. And every single time, ever since The Walking Dead main show ended, every single time he's like, it's still going? I thought it ended. Like, every single time. Dead City aired. Like, Dead City Season 1 started airing. It's still going? I thought it ended. Daryl Dixon Season 1 started airing. It's still going? I thought it ended. The Ones Who Live, you get the point, right? Like, every single time. And not to mention that there's a reason why I rather not watch the shows with my family around, because whenever I started watching, they would not shut up. Like, they just keep on yapping and yapping, so I turn up the volume so I can goddamn hear the show, and they're just like, it's too loud, turn it down. Why you turn it up so loud? It's like, why the hell do you think I turn it up so loud? I can't hear because of you people. And then, my family has this habit of always asking questions when it comes to watching shows. Like, they can never be silent and just enjoy what they're watching. So, my dad's like, what's this? What is this? What are you watching? My sister's like, who's that? Which character is that? Is that the son? Who's that? What's going on? It's like, god damn it, people, shut up. And then when I get irritated, like, people, please, be quiet. I'm trying to listen and watch. They're just like, what's with the attitude? Why are you getting upset? Can we not ask a simple question? And then I give them the stink eye, and then they're just like, the fuck is with that stink eye, huh, bitch? That kind of stuff. Anyway, so I tried not watching it on the TV today. I actually tried to watch it online, since, you know, AMC Plus. I thought it was going to air at the same time. Since Walking Dead airs at 9 p.m., I thought it would release on Disney. I, th- I thought it would release on AMC Plus at the exact same time, 9 p.m. No, it turns out it releases a little bit earlier. So I wanted to watch it online, but just not any good chances to do that during the day. And when I had the chance to, it was already like 7 p.m. and or rather like almost 7:30-ish, and I'm just like, ugh. At this point, I may as well just wait for it to come out on cable. Watch it after dinner. Anyways, yep. Oh yeah, I didn't even check if sound is being picked up, because there's a good chance it may not be. Okay, good. Sound's being picked up. Before I talk about the actual episode, which, that's the only thing I have to talk about today, I want to talk about something that my friends and I talked about earlier today. So I'm about to leak the chat logs. So it all started with one of our friends in the group chat asking, do you guys want to watch Sinners? The movie, I believe, made by Ryan Coogler. Has Haley Steinfeld as well as Michael B. Jordan. Been hearing lots of good things about the movie. So yeah, a friend of mine asked us, do you guys want to watch Sinners? And I'm just like, Haley Steinfeld, Lord have mercy. And then, I didn't realize these guys meant, do you guys want to watch it in the theaters? Because my friend said, Imagine still has $5 Tuesdays. Because, there's like something about Tuesdays. You get cheaper movie tickets on Tuesdays. I don't know. I haven't been keeping track with Sinners. I didn't know it was still in theaters. So then I'm just like, if I'm going to the theater, I'd rather watch Thunderbolts. My friends were just like, the fuck is Thunderbolts? I'm like, Marvel? Because I'm hearing this one's actually good. So I'm curious to watch it. I would actually watch Thunderbolts in theaters. Past several Marvel films I have not bothered to watch in theaters. So, that's what I said. I said, I'd rather watch Thunderbolts because I've been hearing it's actually good. So, one of my friends said, wasn't that what they said about the new Captain America? And I just replied, no one said that. No one said that. Everyone knew Cap 4 was bad thanks to the behind-the-scenes reports. So that's exactly what I told him. And then he's like, oh, but I think people were hyping it up before that. I'm just like, no one was. No one was hyping up the movie before it came out. I don't know, I think it was just rather funny. My friend was saying, weren't people saying that the new Captain America was good? People were hyping it up? I'm just like, no. Absolutely not. Nobody was hyping up that movie. Nobody was saying it was good. I don't know what you guys were hearing. I didn't even do the dishes tonight. After dinner, went straight to the couch to watch Dead City. And then once Dead City was ended... Once Dead City ended, I came to set up here, and here I am. Another thing, earlier today my sister said that I have a belly. It's like, geez, as if that's anything new. It's like, what are you gonna tell me next? The sky is blue? But that definitely does raise alarms. That definitely does say that I not only have gained weight recently, I've gained a lot of weight recently. If she if she's saying that I have a belly, like, more than usual, enough to where it's actually something to point out. Well, if it wasn't official before, it's official now. I am officially much, much fatter than Nikocado Avocado. I'm still hunting for... well, I'm technically going for shiny Ralts right now. I'm still hatching shiny Ralts eggs, let's say that. I have not been keeping count. How many eggs have I hatched so far? Let me see. Wow, that's a lot more eggs than I expected. Hold on. Let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11... 12, 13, 14. I've currently hatched 14 full boxes. Whatever 14 times 30 is. Let's see. 30 times 10, that's 300. 30 times 4, that's 120. So 420? Nice. I've hatched 420 eggs so far. Well, that's not true. I hatched 14 full boxes, plus whatever I hatched in the 15th box. I've hatched 15, so 435. I've hatched 435 eggs so far. And no shiny. Getting pretty close to odds. The 1 in 512 odds. And you know, speaking of shinies, so yesterday in Pokemon Go was Mega Kangaskhan Raid Day. Yes, I, Angus, raided for Kangaskhan. And yesterday, during Mega Kangaskhan Raid Day, I actually got 3 shiny Kangaskhan's in a row. Typically, whenever it's raid days or mega raid days, I really just do like 6 mega raids, because that's how many free ones you can do. So I do pretty much 6 free mega raids during a mega raid day. And, you know, the first 3 raids, I got 3 shiny Kangaskhan's back to back to back. And, well, my luck had to have ran out at some point, because the last 3 I did were all normal ones back to back to back. So I got 3 shiny Kangaskhan's and then 3 regular ones. Obviously, none were hundos. But, you know, I can't complain too hard. 3 shiny Kangaskhan's. I'm pretty sure Kangaskhan is regional too. So, even better, the fact that I got 3 of them. And then yesterday, aside from the 3 shiny Kangaskhan's, I also did get a shiny Wimpod. I forget when I got this one. May have been yesterday. Or it wasn't today, or was it the day before? Whatever. At some point in the past, in the recent past, I got myself a double XL shiny Swablu in Pokemon Go. And, well, today all I got was a shiny yellow Flabébé. Surprisingly enough, it took me this long to get a shiny Flabébé of, you know, my regional color, being yellow. I managed to actually get 2 shiny blue Flabébés before I even got my own regional one. And also an orange one. Orange and white are the rare colors. Red, blue, and yellow are the regional ones. So now I have a shiny yellow, orange, and I had 2 shiny Flabébés. I evolved one into Floette and one into Florges. So I technically no longer have a shiny blue flower Flabébé in Pokemon Go. Maybe again someday in the future. Alright, so you want to know... Let me tell you about another case of bullshit I had to deal with at work. Honestly, this one was rather tame, but still, it was bullshit I had to deal with nonetheless. So I had this customer who I was helping, so it wasn't someone else helping him and then I took over. No, I helped this person. Big ass guy, by the way, was like twice my height. That's besides the point. So today is Sunday. He said he's leaving for a trip on Thursday. So he was looking for a pair of polarized sunglasses, you know, something his style and affordable for his price range. I think he said the most he's willing to spend is like $300. Eventually, he picked out a frame that was like... He also needed to... Okay, so he wanted a pair of polarized. So he picked out a regular pair, which is not polarized, but he insists that he wants polarized. So I said, what you can do if you like this frame, you can change out the lenses for polarized lenses. That'll cost you a little bit more, and you also have to give us a little bit of time. We should be able to do it before Thursday, before you leave for your trip. All in all, his total came out to $350. Of course, he asked me, can you do any better? And I said no. So he was all for it, you know? He was willing to do the purchase. So, you know, did the payments and stuff. And then, you know, this dude just like hyper examining the frame, making sure there's nothing wrong with it, which I don't blame anyone for doing it, but to his level, like to anyone who does it to this level is just overdoing it, in my opinion. Just like analyzing every single spec, everything, you know? Is this a scratch? Is this a dent? Is this okay? Like absolutely everything, right? And so he's just like, I see scuff marks. It's like, well, it's very minor issues, right? It's not an enormous gash. It's not a giant scratch. It's just a tiny little scuff mark that's barely noticeable. The average person wouldn't care, but, you know, fine. He said, like, can you order me a new one? And I'm trying to tell this guy, it's Sunday today, and you're leaving by Thursday. Even if I order it right now, there's no guarantees it'll come by Thursday, because shipping is out of our control. We place the order now. We have no control over when it ships and arrives to us. Which it seems like a lot of people don't understand, right? A lot of people, whenever they ask to order stuff, I let them know, and they will constantly call in, like, is it here yet? Is it ready for pickup yet? Is it available yet? I'm just like, no. Did we call you to let you know yet? Then no, it's not ready. And then they're always like, why is it taking so long? Do you understand that we don't control shipping? We place the order, we wait for it to come. We cannot control how long it takes to ship to us, right? Shit, if that's the case, then anything I buy off of eBay, if I had it my way, I'd have it in my hands the next day without having to pay anything extra for, you know, express shipping or whatever. Like, if I had it my way, anything I order from eBay, anything I order off of eBay from Japan, I'll have it in my hands the next day. I don't want to wait a month or two. Okay, maybe a month or two is exaggerated, but you know, I don't want to wait a couple weeks to a month. But I understand that shipping takes time, and it's out of anyone's control. You ship it, you wait for it. Period. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So yeah, this guy was like, would you be able to order me a new one? And I tried to tell him, it's Sunday. If I order it right now, there's no guarantees it'll show up before Thursday on time. So then he was asking like, Okay, but so if you sell me this one, okay, so he was complaining about like, so this one's a display model. You're selling me something that is defective and scuffed. You know, I see like scratch marks on it. First of all, people, let me tell you, it was fine. Okay, it was fine. So then he was like, but I want a new one, but you're telling me I can't get it in time. Or that you can't guarantee it in time. Right? So then he was asking, can I take this one first, and then when I come back from the trip, exchange it for a new one? And I'm just like, no, that kind of doesn't make sense. If you go on your trip and you damage it, you exchange for a brand new one for free? Like, that just doesn't make sense. So my mom tried to chime in. It's like, sir, we understand that you would like a new one, but like we said, there's no guarantees if it'll ship here soon enough for you to get it before your trip. So if you really are, if you're okay with taking this one, which you say is a little bit damaged, which it wasn't, it is a little bit scuffed as he put it, we'll do a lower price for you. So we lowered the price. His total was $350, so we lowered $30. He's just like, nah, but I'm gonna need more. So at that point, it's like, nope, deal's off. Never mind. So there's a lot of things to take away from this, a lot of things to break down. You know, we already offered you less and you're gonna demand more? No. And second of all, so like I said, today is Sunday and he's leaving Thursday. Why would you not do this stuff more ahead of time? I mean, I'm not one to talk, you know. Look at how badly I did in college. It's because I left a lot of things for last minute. But, like, if you're leaving on a trip, why would you not buy the stuff you need much more ahead of time? We're not even talking a full week in advance. We're talking Sunday to Thursday. That's like 3 days. 4 if you want to be generous. And surely you're a grown enough man to understand. You're a grown enough adult to understand. We place an order, it needs time to ship, and you're leaving in less than a week. What do you expect me to do about it? What do you want me to do? Drive to the other country and pick it up myself for you? Anyway, so it was a no deal. He did not end up purchasing. We returned his money, that kind of stuff. Ultimately, you know, it was nothing but just a big waste of my time. I didn't gain any profits, nor did I lose any products to sell. All that really happened was I wasted a bunch of time. Man, the thing that pissed me off the most was when we offered him a lower price, he's just like, nah, I'm gonna need more. It's like, no. Anyway, so that's something that happened today. Hold on, maybe let my dogs finish barking before I talk about the episode. Guess my dog's not barking yet. I could swear my brother-in-law is about to leave. I'm trying to think of what music can I put on. Oh, you want to know something I have in mind? So, I don't remember if I mentioned this last time. I don't think I did. So, we all know that Nintendo has raised their prices for everything. Consoles, games, and all other accessories. The price has gone up. Fucking $40 for a Street Fighter 6 amiibo. That's criminal. Anyway, so we all know that Nintendo raising the prices is a pretty bad omen for the rest of the gaming industry. And a couple days ago, news broke out that, well, the snowball effect has already started. Because Microsoft has already started raising prices for not only Xbox, but all the games as well. And people are saying, well, all that's missing now is the third big player being Sony. All that's left now is for Sony to also, stick their finger in the cookie jar, raise the price for PS5 and PS5 games. We know it's inevitable, right? All of Sony's competitors have raised the prices, so Sony realistically has no reason to not do so as well. It's just a matter of time. If anything, there's a chance. People have been saying a rumor GTA 6 is going to be the first game that comes out that'll be $100. Well, there's a chance that when GTA 6 does come out, whenever that may be, there's a chance it could be higher than that. And right now, we can say we'll be lucky if it's 100. So my point is, we know that Sony will raise the prices at some point, so that got me thinking, should I buy a PS5 now, before the price goes up? Because we all know it's going to happen, it's inevitable. So I'm thinking, should I invest in a PS5 now, before the price goes up? Because my plan was to buy a buy a PS5 for GTA 6. And well, GTA 6 is delayed until next year. Who knows, maybe more delays. I don't plan to buy a PS5 anytime soon. I would buy a PS5 for GTA 6. However, if GTA 6 just keeps on getting delayed further and further, prices keep going up and up, should I buy a PS5 now, before the price goes up? I mean, that's a pretty big investment, right? PS5... Let me look up how much it is, actually. Okay, I'm looking at Best Buy right now. Let's see here. Okay, so there's a couple of options. Let me read them out loud for you. Alright, so PlayStation 5 Slim Digital is $579.99. PlayStation 5 Slim Console with the disc drive, $649.99. Remember, these are Canadian prices I'm listing. Yay, Canada. Let's see. I see here refurbished, bracket good, Sony PlayStation 5 PS5 console disc version, $469.99, so save 100. Literally says save 100. I don't know, I'd rather buy a brand new one if I'm gonna be honest, but whatever. PlayStation 5 Pro console, oh Jesus, $959.99. And there is no PlayStation 5 Pro disc version. However, seeing that the disc version for the PS5 regular console is more expensive, if and when they release a PS5 Pro disc version, I imagine it's going to be like $1,200. Which, Jesus, that's a big, oh my god. That's a big investment for me to primarily play just one game. Now, obviously, there's more games on the PS5 I would love to play, but I can't, and I won't, because I don't have a PS5 yet. Games like Spider-Man 2, games like Mortal Kombat 1. I could play Mortal Kombat 1 if I wanted to, if I really wanted to, on Switch, but just no. Why would I? I could play games like Astro Bot, you know? So there are games on the PS5 I want to play, but I don't have the console, so I can't play them. And in cases where I technically could play the games without a PS5, I don't want to. So it seems like right now my option is PlayStation 5. This is how it's listed. PlayStation 5 Slim Console, Disc Drive, $649.99. And it also says here plus $3.75 EHF. I don't know what that means. There's no way that's warranty. Okay, let's see. Hold on. So basically $650 times plus tax, I would be looking at $734.50. So let's just round it up to a nice clean number. If I want to buy a PS5 right now, no game, mind you, right now, $735. Tax, no game, disc version of the console. So if I want to buy a PlayStation 5 right now, before the prices go up, so I can prepare for GTA 6's release, I need to hand over 735 Canadian dollars. Whew. And the thing is, if I don't act now, this number could go up, whether I like it or not. I could spend after tax like $800, $900 for the same thing if I wait, let's say, a month or two. This would basically be my entire month's spending. This may sound pretty low. My credit card limit per month is only $1,000. I know that sounds rather low. My friends have like 10,000. That's a really, really terrible idea for me. My limit used to be just 500. And I don't want my credit card limit to be more than 1,000 because I will go overboard and I will be in debt. I will destroy my credit. No, thank you. So, 1,000 a month is a pretty good limit for someone like me. And you guys know how much I spend, how reckless I am. So yeah, if I have $1,000 limit every single month, then, this is almost 75%. But, it's an investment. If I don't buy it now, the price could go up. all in all, there's also just not a whole lot of, like, PlayStation 5 games that interest me. Not really. At least none that comes to mind. I could play games like Final Fantasy, but you know, it's not a big list of games I have in mind I want to play the moment I get my hands on a PS5. Like, I won't actually sit down and play on the console for a lot. Not as much as you would think, at least not until GTA 6. Okay, give me a sec. I'm just gonna double check the lights, and then I'll be back. Okay, nothing to need to turn off just yet. Not shiny. Ugh. Oh. Oh, also, I actually did not end up going out for dinner yesterday, like I said I would last time. Turns out only my dad went out for dinner, which, great, I didn't want to go. I don't remember if I told this story a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. There was one night where my dad, he came home at like 5 in the morning drunk, threw up, so I had to help him with that, and then I had a whole lot of stuff to do in the morning. I had to clean my dog's, I had to clean my dad's vomit bucket, I had to clean my dog's butt because he had diarrhea, so I had to bathe him at 7 in the morning. I had to feed my dogs, and then I had to do laundry, hang up the previously done laundry to dry in the basement, take out the garbage, make hangover food for my dad. So I had a pretty busy morning that day, all because my dad came home at like 5 a.m. drunk and threw up. So because my dad went out for dinner last night, drinking with his friends, this time I was prepared. This time, as a preparation, I put a vomit bucket in his bed. I put some, like, I don't know exactly what it is. It's like little tablets of turmeric, because I hear turmeric helps with vomit or nausea. So, you know, put a little baggie of, like, turmeric capsules or whatever. It's the same kind of thing we gave him last time he threw up. So, yeah. This time I was prepared. I put a vomit bucket in his bedroom to prepare. I put, of all things, the electric tea kettle in my bathroom, just so whenever he did throw up, I could easily just wake up, go to my bathroom, quickly boil the water, and get it for him, instead of having to go downstairs, you know. So I was ready. And I was also thinking, like, I should get to bed, because there's a good chance I might need to wake up at 5 in the morning again and help him clean out another vomit bucket, and then do a bunch of stuff again, so I should get to bed. We're talking at this point, it's like still 1 a.m. And then last night my dad came home, rather not drunk. He still drank, but, you know, not plastered like he was last time. So to my surprise, you know, I didn't have to do any of that stuff. But hey, better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, right? It was better to have the vomit bucket ready and not need it than to need the vomit bucket and not have it. Oh, you know what? Speaking of drinking, earlier tonight, my brother-in-law came over for dinner. He saw that there was hard Arizona in the downstairs fridge. And because everyone knows I love Arizona, he's just like, is that yours? I'm like, no, my friends left it here for, you know, the next time they come over. Because unlike me, my friends do drink. And since they always come to my place to hang out, they just left their beer and stuff in the fridge for next time they come over. So there's hard Arizona in my fridge. For anyone who doesn't know what hard Arizona is, like I didn't at first, it's spiked Arizona. It's Arizona with 5% alcohol added to it. And we all know I don't drink. So obviously the hard Arizona in my fridge wasn't mine. My brother-in-law wanted one to try. I said, yeah, go for it. I doubt my friends, the next time they come over, will notice a can missing. So I tried a sip of hard Arizona tonight, and that shit was absolutely disgusting. It tasted like ass. It was so bad. I hate it. It was instant regret. I tasted it. It was terrible. I tried it. There was almost no Arizona flavor. All I tasted was booze. And we're talking 5% alcohol here. Anyway, so I tried a sip and it was absolutely not for me. I will never try it again. It tasted absolutely disgusting. However, my brother-in-law said that as he kept on drinking it, as he got to the bottom of the can, there was less booze flavor and more actual like Arizona tea flavor. So then I poured myself a little sip into a separate cup. And I tasted it. It's like, okay, there is significantly less booze flavor and more tea flavor, but it still tasted awful. I hate it. Regular Zona for the win all the way. I feel like maybe you're supposed to shake the can before drinking it. You're supposed to mix the tea with the actual 5% alcohol in it. You're supposed to shake the can before you drink it. There was no instructions. Whoops. There was no instructions to shake it first. So I texted my other group of friends, my group of friends who actually introduced me to the very concept of hard Arizona. I had not heard of it before them. So I told them, hard Arizona is disgusting. It tastes like absolute shit. I will never have it again. It tasted so bad. One of my friends throws out the, I don't want to say accusation, but whatever. Throws out the, shit, there's one word I'm looking for. What is it? Slander, that's it. One of my friends threw out one line of slander going like, fake Arizona fan. Any hardcore Arizona fan would love everything they put out. You know, hardcore Arizona fans would hate you for saying hard Arizona sucks. And I'm just like, fuck them. I don't give a shit. I only like one Arizona flavor, and that's the original. The green tea ginseng, that's the only one I like. Fuck all the other flavors. So yeah, all you Arizona stans that are mad at me for not liking hard Arizona, I don't care. I only like the one flavor. I won't apologize for what I like and don't like. Well, now we know. I've taken a sip. 5% of alcohol is too much for me. At least the 0.6% beer I had in Hong Kong, I could actually drink. Because there was so little actual alcohol flavor to it that I could actually drink it. It was masked by so much of the actual drink that I could barely taste the alcohol flavor. It was definitely in there still. I could still taste it. However, it was a bearable amount. It was a manageable amount of that booze flavor. I don't like that flavor, okay? I don't like the taste of alcohol. It tastes like shit to me. God forbid anyone offers me, you know, a glass of the expensive stuff, the good stuff. I will either decline or I will taste it and I will spit it out. Be like, oh, this stuff is awful. It tastes terrible. I hate it. And even more, God forbid, a woman offers me it. Anyways. So yeah, I tried hard Arizona tonight. It tasted terrible. I hate it. I will never drink it again. Maybe, I don't know, 20 years from now when I'm like, what did it taste like again? Wait, let me try a sip. Oh, that's right. It's awful. I hate it. Yeah, I'm never trying hard Arizona again because it tastes absolutely terrible. You know, I gotta wake up early tomorrow to open the store because my mom and sister have some thing to do again. At least this time I got a heads up that my sister's not gonna go to work. I don't know about tomorrow, but I definitely know Tuesday she's not going. At least this time I got a heads up. You know, instead of her randomly going, oh, by the way, I'm not coming in today. Like I said beforehand, I couldn't even get one day off in several weeks. And her, she can randomly just say, by the way, I'm not going to come in today. As always, when you're the youngest in the family, you're the punching bag of the family. Anyways, I think I've ranted on enough. We haven't even talked about Dead City yet. I need to find some music to put on. You know what? Huh, should I put this on? Wasn't there a claim for it before? Oh god, that was my chair squeaking. Did you hear that? My fat ass is gonna crush this chair. I'm trying to think, what music can I put on? Well, Romanes Park came to mind, so I'm gonna play that again. Is there really no extended? There actually is no extended. Wow, there's actually no extended. There actually is no extended. Okay, let's talk about Dead City Season 2, Episode 1. So, I'm not too sure when this episode takes place after Season 1 ended. There's been a lot of references in the episode about past several months, but then Negan says a year. So, it's safe to assume that some time has passed since Season 1. Season 1 was a couple of months ago or a year ago. So lots of time has passed, actually. And if anything, we are now pretty far up ahead in the Walking Dead timeline. Way ahead of Daryl Dixon and The Ones Who Live. Who knows what's going to happen with that. Oh yeah, fun fact. During the episode tonight, we also got a couple of... not a couple. We got a tease... We got a teaser for Daryl Dixon Season 3. Pretty cool. Alright, so Dead City Season 2. Episode opens up with Maggie teaching Herschel how to throw knives hunting a deer. And hey, I gotta say, the CGI deer looks pretty good. Walking Dead has definitely, you know, gotten better with their CGI deers. We all know Walking Dead has a pretty bad reputation with CGI deers. So not only is Maggie with Herschel, she's also with Ginny. So they go back to the bricks. However, New Babylon shows up. The marshals or whatever, the people in charge of New Babylon, show up. They publicly execute a guy by hanging. And I couldn't help but think Maggie probably does not enjoy watching that because she did the exact same thing to Gregory many years ago. Publicly hung Gregory at Hilltop. So actually, our character like Pearlie Armstrong is pitching the idea, pitching New Babylon's idea. That is the fact that Manhattan now has ethanol, has power. We can take control of it, and we can make Manhattan great again, you know? We can make Manhattan was what it once was back in the old world. But to do that, we need an army. So we are recruiting people to fight with us, to seize control of Manhattan. This episode constantly jumps between Maggie's storyline and Negan's storyline. Makes sense since, you know, they're the two main characters, and the two characters are separated right now. Negan, we see, has been locked up in a cell for quite a while. Maybe a couple of months, maybe a year. This is where Negan says a year. So Negan, locked up, asked the prison guard for some leftovers. And those, you know, scrumptious leftovers being a plate of cockroaches. So Negan says, a year ago, you told me I would be begging for cockroaches. Because remember in Season 1 when Negan did not like cockroaches? And now Negan's just downing them? It'd be like if I was locked up and I was broken to the point I would beg the prison guard for spiders to eat. So yeah, Negan said it's been a year. The reason he's locked up is because he is not going along with the plans that the Dama has. The Dama wants Negan to join her, be a, you know, a leader for Manhattan. Someone who shows aura, someone who exudes aura and is able to rally everyone on the island of Manhattan under one leadership. Negan's like, nah, I don't want to. The Croat visits Negan in prison in his cell. Croat's trying to be like, Negan, please. What about the boy? Dama will go after him. And Negan just praises Maggie to high heaven.
Tide Oxymax power
Oh
pods
god.
one-ups the cleaning power.
Stop! The ads are despicable on YouTube. Well, let's hear this version. I like the regular version better than this one. So yeah, Negan just praising Maggie. It's like, you remember her? You remember the kid's mother? Well, Mama Bear will rip out your throat after she's clawed your guts out before she lets anyone, you know, get close to her son. So you know, Maggie is talking to Pearly, making a deal with him, like, you know, you are forcing people to join you as soldiers to take over the island of Manhattan, which is super dangerous. But Pearly wants Maggie to join along because Maggie's been to Manhattan. So she would be, you know, a force to be reckoned with if they bring her along to Manhattan. Maggie's just like, fine, we make a deal. I come with you, and nobody who does not want to go has to go. Only if they choose to go. But Pearly Armstrong needs to convince his fellow dictators to, you know, go with that plan. Negan meets with the Dama along with Croat. They reveal, like, they know that the you know, the dictators of New Babylon, they're coming. They're coming for the ethanol. Oh wait, that's not how the episode opened. Episode opened with a bunch of guys going for walker bodies and turning it into ethanol. And then we get Maggie teaching Herschel. Anyways. So yeah, they know that New Babylon is on their way. So the island of Manhattan is split up into like 3 groups. And each group is their own separate thing. They do not like each other, they hate each other. But a war is coming, we need to unite everyone together, to fight together. So Dama wants Negan to do so. Negan's just like, nah, I don't want to. So then Dama uses her last resort. We'll have to see if it is her last resort. Threatening Negan's family. Because she knows where Annie and Negan's son Joshua are. So now Negan has to play along. Well, not really threatening. She's, well, let's face it, yes, threatening. She's just like, well, it looks like your wife and son are en route to the island of Manhattan, whether you like it or not. So, wouldn't you like to pretty up the place before they arrive? It'd be a shame if anything bad happened to them while they're here, because you didn't do anything to clean up the walkers in the streets for their arrival, that kind of thing. Am I crazy for thinking this, or saying this? We are almost, okay, Walking Dead timeline-wise, it's almost been 2 decades since the outbreak happened. I think Dead City Season 1, we were like 17 years in. And then, let's say a year has passed, it's like 18 years. It's almost been 2 decades since the whole outbreak started timeline-wise. And I know Manhattan's a big place with like millions and millions of walkers. Wouldn't 20 years, almost 20 years, a good number of that have been cleared out? Especially if, you know, like the show said, the army bombed all the bridges and everything connecting the island, so the island's on its own. anyone who survived on the island, unless they can find a boat, they're stuck on the island. I don't know, and I realize survivors, once they die, they also turn to walkers. I'm just kind of thinking, wouldn't 20 years a good number of the walkers been taken out? And the ones that aren't taken out, the really old and decayed ones, wouldn't they decay? You know, we're talking 20 years here almost. Wouldn't the walkers exposed to the elements just naturally break down? Like, wouldn't there not be that many walkers anymore? Now, obviously, there would still be a lot. Oh, God. Obviously, there would still be a lot, but I don't think there would be that many. You know, we're not talking like 1 million. We're talking like 10,000. I don't know. It's a rough estimate. It's just a random number I'm pulling out my ass. Alright, so the New Babylon dictators agree to Pearlie's pitch on one agreement. Maggie proves herself worthy, strong enough to join them on the journey to New Babylon. What? To Manhattan. Alongside New Babylon. So they test her by having her in a ring to fight off a group of walkers. But then, Ginny also volunteers because she too wants to go to Manhattan. Maggie's like, no, but everyone else, all the leaders of New Babylon are just like, hey, nobody who doesn't want to go doesn't have to go, right? That was the deal. If she wants to go and she proves herself, then she can go. So Maggie and Ginny fight the big group of walkers inside of the ring. Maggie eventually gets cornered, like a bunch of walkers are piling on her. And Ginny's on the ground with 2 walkers about to, you know, feast on her. And then Maggie just out of nowhere shows up to save her. You know, Maggie took down a big group of walkers on her own, off screen. You know, I feel like that's just, I don't want to say lazy writing or bad writing, but kinda. Like, it's kind of hard to believe. Maggie was absolutely cornered. And she was alone to fight like 7 or 8 walkers. That's a lot. Especially if you're cornered and you're on your own. Anyway, so that's not the only ring with walker fights going on. So Negan and Croat go to this place where the 2 other groups inhabiting Manhattan are meeting up. They have this little like gladiator fight. Now I find it kind of hard to tell what was going on. I couldn't tell if it was, you know, a living, breathing person covered in like duct tape and armor fighting an armored walker, or if it was 2 different walkers. Because the latter doesn't make sense. If it was a walker, armor to the gills, why would that walker be fighting another walker? Unless it was a variant, but like, you know, it wasn't injected with whatever the magic potion was that we saw in Daryl Dixon, where an amped walker an amped walker fights another amped walker, or just another walker. And also, whatever this thing was, if it was a person, just strapped to the gills with armor, he had blades on his chin, and then, you know, was just stabbing the other walker in the head with said chin blades. So that makes me think it's a person under there. I don't know, visually it looked more like 2 different walkers fighting, though that doesn't make sense. Well, eventually Negan goes, this whole thing is taking place in a church, a big ass church. Negan goes before the 2 different, you know, rival groups, informing them, you know. New Babylon is on their way. They want the ethanol. We need to join together to fight. The leader of one of the two groups is like, nah, we don't want to. So Negan's just like, well, that's too bad. Because you're going to, because I say you're going to. And also, Croat gave Negan a brand new Lucille. A brand new baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. Only this time, Croat tricked it out with some, some fun gadgets. How the hell did he do that? I don't know. Just don't worry about it, I guess. Because on the new Lucille, there's a button. Once pressed, gives a controlled shock, I guess. Doesn't really fire a bullet. There is no extended version of this song from what I can find, so I just need to loop it. And then we also meet, not really meet, we see the character of Bruegel. We don't really know much about him just yet. We knew before the season coming out that Kim Coates would be playing a new character named Bruegel, so we'll have to see what his character is all about. I mean, character looks interesting. Looks like he belongs in a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. You know, he does indeed kind of look like, shit, Johnny Depp. Crap. I forgot his name. Oh yeah, I should also mention that, hey, Ginny's talking now, so at least there's that. She said like 2 words in the season 1 finale. At least the character gets to talk this time. So Maggie needs to go back to Manhattan alongside New Babylon. Well, Ginny's also going. She's in that rebellious kid phase where it's like, you're not my mother. Well, she's actually right. Maggie's not her mother, but whatever. Maggie's just trying to look after her because she actually promised Negan she would. And she's actually keeping her promise, which, at least there's some honor there. Keeping a promise that you made to the man that killed your husband. At least there's honor there. I mean, Negan did trade himself for Maggie's son, so yeah. But then Herschel, obviously he doesn't want his mom to go. Herschel wants to go with Maggie. Maggie's just like, why? Is it because of this picture of this woman that you drew? Who is this? So it seems like Maggie doesn't know. Maggie doesn't know who Dama is. Maggie doesn't know that it was the Dama who cut off Herschel's pinky toe. Which, I guess, yeah, kind of makes sense. Maggie and the Dama haven't shared screen time yet. So yeah, Maggie needs to go to Manhattan. Negan has rallied up New York for the most part. We also saw the power come back on. And it looks like the 2 different settlements are about to go to war. Well, by the end of the episode, Herschel finally is able to, I don't want to say master, but he is able to successfully pull off his knife throwing. So it'd be cool to see that evolve over the season. There was also something small in the episode that I didn't understand until it was said out loud. Maggie kept on spotting moths out in the wild. And that meant that New Babylon was running out of their fuel source. Something about moths laying eggs in the corn and destroying the crops. I don't understand completely. So that's why New Babylon is pretty desperate to take over Manhattan and claim ownership of the ethanol production. What are we talking about? We're talking about the first episode of Dead City Season 2 that aired tonight. And I think that's about it for the episode. It was just episode 1. 7 more weeks of episodes to go. All in all, Dead City is pretty standalone. I mean, all the shows are. Especially Daryl Dixon. Daryl Dixon is super standalone. If there was any show to get a crossover character, it's Dead City. You know, we want to see characters like Dwight return. You know, throughout the couple of years, I heard this idea thrown out that Dead City doesn't mean it has to take place in the city of Manhattan. It could take place in, let's say, Los Angeles. Where, you know, certain other characters like Madison and Alicia are. I mean, it'd be a pretty big stretch to have both Maggie and Negan go from Manhattan all the way down to LA. That's a pretty big stretch. But you know what else is a big stretch? Daryl Dixon going to France. Well, Walking Dead is back. We got 7 more weeks of episodes, and you bet I'm going to talk about all of the episodes. Did I miss any details about the episode? Man, I can't wait to see all of those dictators who run New Babylon be devoured by walkers, because they're all jerks. They're all pretty bad people. They're pretty high on their power, their position. You know, they are in they're in their own self-given positions to enforce their own quote-unquote law. So, whenever someone doesn't follow their law, well, they publicly execute them. I can't wait to see these people get killed, because goddamn, these people are terrible. And I can't wait to see the satisfaction of when they get torn apart. Is that bad for me to say? It's The Walking Dead. This is the stuff you expect. You want to see the villains get taken down. You want to see the bad people suffer. Like, you really want to see the most hateable characters. You want to see them be built up as someone you really don't like. And then you want to see, finally, some satisfaction. Some justice taking place in the godforsaken world that they live in. Characters like, let's say, the Governor. The Governor was pretty bad, but then again, his death was relatively satisfying. There was also this one line in the episode, I wonder if Maggie got flashbacks to the Governor. It was when she and Pearlie Armstrong were discussing things. Armstrong was just like, I need to convince the governors. I wonder if hearing that gave Maggie any, like, PTSD about the Governor. Especially, you know, what he did to her. Well, there's your discussion on The Walking Dead Deceased Settlement, Season 2, Episode 1. I still need to find time to watch the other shows I plan to discuss here. Because so far I have like 4 different shows lined up, and then when you add in Dead City, that makes 5. So obviously there's The Boys, there's From, so that's already 2. Ted, and Monarch, so that's 4. Wait, hold on. Let me check the lights again. I need to see if there's any lights I need to turn off. Give me a second. I knew it. There was a light to turn off, and it's the light that my dad's obsessed with turning on these days. I swear, part of me is tempted to just tape it down. Well, since I don't have anything else to talk about tonight, I am just going to watch some videos. I need to plug in my headset first. Oh, you know what? There was one thing at the very end of the episode where it pans out to, I think, Madison Square Garden. Not only do you hear walkers growl, you also hear a roar. Almost like a bear roar. Ever since the trailer showed that bear, questionable if it's alive or not, we have to see. Could it be that the first animal walker we see is a bear? We see the dogs and horses, they don't come back as a walker. Could it be that it's a bear? A bear can be infected with wildfire and come back? We shall see. Right now I'm just watching Movie Idol's video reviewing and breaking down the first episode. No way I just got two back-to-back 15-second long unskippable ads. 30 seconds of ads, unskippable. YouTube. Well, that video's done. Alright, there was an Absol Blogs Pokemon video that came out today I had yet to watch. Well, not today. Actually, it came out 2 days ago. It's video number 702. Couple more minutes and then I'm gonna call it for tonight. Well, almost done. Couple more minutes. Last reset. And no shiny. See you next time.